Hello, good morning. You're watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Balde. Thank you very much for always following this program wherever you are. We value our viewers so much. We definitely appreciate the support. From day one. And since inception, you've been following this platform and also sending your comments and contributions. And today on the program, I'm with Mr. Adedrame as the co-host of this program. Mr. Ade, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. I think we should briefly give a shout out to absent friends. Julia Jai has not been around, and we hope she gets better and gets back. And Sonko J will be joining her. She's in Abuja, Nigeria. Okay. And of course, you yourself were absent.
Right.
You were an absent friend.
I resumed today.
And you've returned today.
I was also away.
So are you now fit as a fiddle?
Absolutely. As strong as a horse.
Good.
Yes. So, our newspaper review guest is no other than Mar Nyang. Mar, good morning. How are you? I don't need to even introduce your organization because people know what you are associated. People know what you stand for. People know what you do already. So Mar is a household name in the Gambia.
Nonetheless, we have to say founder and executive director of Gambia participates. For any viewer who's tuning in for the first time and doesn't know.
Not so they'll be
welcome to the program, Mar.
Yes, Mar.
Thank you, Ade, and thank you, Wale. I appreciate it, and it's good to be here again.
Thank you. Good to have you.
Yeah, so it's good to be here. We'll be talking to Jenaba Sonko. She's in Abuja, Nigeria. I hope now she's relaxed because before she left, she was like, Balde, it's my first time to go to Nigeria, so I don't know how I'm gonna feel the environment. The people, different nation. I said, Jenaba, you fit anywhere you go to. So civil military coordination in emergencies.
Yeah.
That's what she went to attend, and Jenaba is on the line. We'll engage her before we get into the newspaper review. Good morning, Jenaba. How are you?
Good morning, Balde. Good morning, Mr. Ade. Good morning, Mar. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. So how is our Buhari people out there?
Yeah, so Nigeria, Abuja, I can talk about Abuja because that's where I am. It's actually a very beautiful city. It's very clean, and Nigerians generally are very industrious. Everybody is looking for something to do. I've always looked forward to coming here, and here I am today, and I'm enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. So tell us the main objectives of your visit to Nigeria.
Yeah, so the topic of discussion here for these 3 days is on civil military coordination for humanitarian response. So the military, most of the time, have the manpower, they have the equipment, and they have the logistics to be able to support during disasters. For example, during the COVID-19, the Ebola crisis, or any kind of conflict, climate change, and the list goes on. So now they are trying to ensure that there is a coordination between the civilians as well as the military. Because remember, humanitarian law says it has to be neutral, it has to be impartial, it has to be independent. And to ensure this, there needs to be a seamless coordination between the civilians and the military. For example, in the Gambia, during the Fonyi crisis, during the COVID-19 pandemic, we had the military join the National Disaster Management Agency to respond to these disasters. I know some might ask, why is the media important when it comes to civil military coordination for humanitarian response? So the media is able to represent it here because we are the individuals who would often give information to the public when the military has to respond. And it's the military, and there's just a lot of misconceptions surrounding the military intervening during humanitarian response. So we dictate how the general public receives the information. That's why we're here to be trained on key concepts and just understand what the strategy is seeking to achieve to ensure that, like I said, there's a seamless coordination. That's why the media is represented here, so that there will be no disinformation or misinformation when the time comes. Like I said, there are a lot of misconceptions with the military when it comes to coordination, but the fact that this strategy is being validated, it will ensure that the rules and regulations are met so that, like I said, neutrality, impartiality, and all the rules of humanitarian intervention. And before I forget, the fact that humanitarian intervention is not supposed to be political. And in every country, most of the time, the president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. So you do not want them to respond politically. So that is why the coordination is key, and the strategy is guiding the military to ensure that the humanitarian response is done in accordance to law.
Yeah, so Jainaba, who organized this conference, and why Nigeria is chosen as the host country?
So as you can see behind me, it's organized by the ECOWAS Commission, the Humanitarian and Social Affairs Division. So there's nothing special on why Nigeria is organizing it. It's just because the ECOWAS headquarters is based here, the commission is based here. So it is normal that it's being hosted here in Nigeria. There's nothing attached because the first workshop was in Accra. The second workshop was in Lagos, and now we're in Abuja, Nigeria.
Mr. Ade.
Jennifer, you mentioned there, of course, most of us, when we think of the military, they're trained to fight and they're trained to protect the territorial integrity of their countries. But most of our armies in West Africa, particularly, they've never fought wars, thankfully. And so you're right. So have you heard from people from the military of other countries of how they have been deployed in humanitarian situations, in response situations? You mentioned Ebola, you mentioned these other ones, COVID-19 and so on. Have you been able to get a sense of how some of them have been deployed in these emergencies?
Well, yes, I've spoken to some of them, but it's very difficult with the ministry, with the military, obviously, to get interviews from them or to engage them on very sensitive matters.
They always have to be
They're very quiet in the Yes, they're very quiet in the hall for some reason, because I was just teasing one of them. I'm like, why are you quiet? And, talk to us about these things. But generally, most of these countries have national strategies. They already have national strategies that guides their interventions in their own countries. In Ghana, we do not have a national strategy. So it means then when the ECOWAS strategy comes into play, we'll have to domesticate it. But with other countries, they already have national strategies that is guiding the intervention of the military. But most of the time, there's a social challenge to it. I spoke to one of the military officials, and they're talking about the fact that in certain communities, they do not want the military to intervene. They do not want it. For example, with the economic soldiers, they're in Gambia. It's not mainly a humanitarian crisis, sort of, but just ensuring that our transitional justice is smooth. But there's some form of resistance, because it's a military intervention from another country. So sometimes with the regional interventions as well, there is some sort of resistance coming from the general public. So that is why the education is key, which we can do as the media to ensure that the people are educated on civil-military coordination for humanitarian response.
Thank you for that, Jennifer.
Yeah, so, Mar, it will be important for you to engage Jennifer.
Mar, how are you?
I'm doing good, Jennifer.
Yeah, so I think Mar, obviously, with Gambia participates, you have a role to actually hold accountable when it comes to civil-military response, to humanitarian response, rather. Because as a civil society organization, sometimes there's a lot of money involved in these coordinations, and often, there's just some corruption involved. So I think there's a stake, you have a stake in this.
Definitely, civil society do engage in social security sector reform. And when you talk about security sector reform, you cannot remove the military out of the equation. And we've seen how the military, especially the Gambia Armed Forces, have been transformed. And I believe one thing that is missing is restoring the relationship, or should I say building the relationship between the civil society and the military. Right? As you say, the military is always quiet. You echo that they all have to be commanded to actually speak on issues. But I think it's pretty important that this event is actually taking place in Nigeria, given the fact that we have been seeing the surge of security concern within the West Africa region, and ECOWAS have a huge stake in restoring peace and stability. We don't want more member states leaving the ECOWAS and joining other groups. But even if they join other groups, we wanted to make sure that the region is stable. Because if Nigeria catch cold, also like if they cough, Gambia will actually catch cold. So, yeah, definitely civil society have a stake in this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
All right.
I totally agree. I totally agree with what you said. But Balde, before we go, I just want to re-emphasize how important the media is when it comes to discussions in there. We're actually taking the center of discussions because in the strategy, there's an aspect of communication and media engagement because of history of misinformation and disinformation when it comes to the response during humanitarian intervention. Like Mr. Ade said, the army, their main responsibility is to protect the states, it's defense. So when you see them, you think they're on to fight. But on the other hand, like I said, they have the manpower, they have the logistics, they have the equipment to be able to support when it comes to humanitarian intervention. And with the NDMA, we can already see a strong partnership. Even talks about the fact that when there's disaster, it is, the military can intervene, to ensure the safety of the population. But now with the strategy, when it comes into play, being domesticated, things will happen seamlessly.
So finally, how has your overall experience in Nigeria been so far?
Yeah, so yesterday I went to a place called the military market, Mami Market, where they do suya, they sell suya, they also sell fish. Like I said, generally, Nigerians are very industrious. They are all over the place looking for something to do. I do not see any element of laziness in Abuja. I can speak here around the area that I live. Everybody is doing something. They're always looking for something extra that they can do to make money. So if you go to the Mami Market, you can see young people all over the place grilling fish, selling. So Gambia, we have a lot of fish. I think this is something that we can emulate, kind of setting it up around our beaches. We are doing it, but it's not in large scale. Setting it around our beaches, grilling fish, ensuring that young people have some form of employment. I think this is something that we can replicate in the Gambia.
Exactly. So Jenna Wasonko, thank you very much for talking to us, and we wish you all the best of luck.
And I'm looking forward to that report about the suya. I'm looking forward to that.
Look forward to it.
Yes, viewers, that's Jenna Wasonko. I mean, sending us updates from Abuja, Nigeria. Mr. Adidrabe.
I mean, she's right. I mean, the whole concept behind kind of civil, military, they do need to work together. And I think sometimes we need to educate our military that actually the people are not your enemy. Your oath is actually to protect them, as well as obviously the physical territorial integrity of your nation. And of course, the people then also need to know that the military are on their side. And again, the people don't need to see the military as the enemy. And so our job in the media is actually to make that connection,
but
to make that communication.
The media always comes secondary. I mean, I think there should be budget for the media. For the media to be able to showcase some of the things.
Come on, it's your job. Budget for what? It's your job to tell the truth, to make that communication, to do away with the misunderstanding and the misgivings and the mistrust. That's your job. Why should anybody pay you extra to do that? That's what your job should be anyway, really. As
but the media comes as secondary sometimes in most of these things. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, she's kind of hinted at it there that, and one of the reasons I asked her the question because I knew that even the military people who went from the Gambia were reluctant to speak to her. And yet, you've gone to this summit to represent the Gambia, you're there with Gambia media, and you don't even want to speak to your own media, and so in that sense, I get what you're saying about the military being secondary, because they need to know that, they have to communicate. It should not just be the army PRO who speaks on behalf of the army. Why did you send somebody to this summit if they're going to speak, and then they won't speak even to their own media? So all of these things, it's a bit of, education, really. Yeah.
So let's move on. For the Mariga, Sidia Kebe and Demba Keita.
Names that
appeared. They abscond. They've breached the agreement between the Gambia and Spain. You know, and they're looking for them at the moment. I mean, Mar, did you see this coming? I mean, at the end of the time, the boys, they have this concept: if we go, we need to find our way out. Is this the solution?
Well, it was obvious from the beginning, right? If you are not,
you can ask Mr. Ade when he took some people to UK and they left him there.
Took 6 people, 4 of them absconded.
They left Mr. Ade.
no, especially in this case, it was obvious from the beginning. If you cannot encourage your own youth population, or the youth to actually farm in this conducive weather,
why are they going to
in
farm
this
somewhere else?
country, will they farm in a harsh weather? And it was obvious. It was just, I don't know. This thing just gets to my nerve.
I mean, you know, when the thing came, our colleague Buba Fati said to me, Mr. Ade, many of these guys would not come back. And if I'm honest now, I never wanted to say it on air because I didn't want the people who were organizing this to kind of get the sense that this was how all of us thought or felt, and then stop the thing before it even had a chance to get off. And so my message was always, look, for those who are going, you are ambassadors of the Gambia. If you go and you abscond, you're spoiling it for everybody else. Because if 3 people abscond this time and they do another batch of 39 or 40, who's to say 10 of them won't abscond? And they might just stop the whole scheme. You know, so, you know, I wanted to kind of get the message out there that, look, don't be selfish. But of course, people are selfish. They don't care. Like, to hell with the rest of Gambia. I mean, imagine 10,000 people applied for this whole thing. 10,000. That just shows you the
you think all of those people are applying to go farm? They're not going to go farm. They will.
The person who never farmed here.
They will eventually
somebody's
leave.
never been on a farm in Gambia.
They will leave that jurisdiction.
Yeah.
They might have already made a contact or a plan with their relatives.
The very thing I said in the office yesterday when this thing broke, I said many of them have probably made a plan with their relatives and so on. And you know, you mentioned okay, we went with a 6-a-side team, a football team that did won the competition, and part of winning the competition was to go to Liverpool, meet the Liverpool players. We hung out with them, we trained with the Liverpool players, including legends like Bruce Grobbelaar and so on, and we went to the match, Liverpool against Southampton. However, on the morning of that match, we were in the hotel, 5-star hotel, where even the Southampton team was staying, taking pictures with them, and then after an hour, one of them said to me, "Where are the boys?" I was like, "Oh." There were a lot of people, about 200 people in the lobby. So I thought, oh, they're in there somewhere. And he said, "No, I can't see even one of them." I'm like, okay. So in the end, we looked around, they were gone. We had to go to the CCTV, and they had arranged with somebody to pick them up in a car outside the hotel. They all 4 of them just jumped in. They left all their stuff in the hotel room, so it looked like one of them even has a medical condition. He left all his medication, you know, and you know, they were gone. And that was really, because this is a global competition that is organized by a Standard Chartered Bank. And guess which country they have now exempted from the competition? The Gambia. Every other country, there were people from Zimbabwe, Zambia, from Lesotho. They were all there. They all went back. Only the Gambians absconded. And so now they don't run the competition in Gambia anymore.
We're paying the penalty.
You pay the penalty because that selfishness means that, you know, others who might get a chance to go and come back, they lose out.
So does this mean now, I mean, this agreement is going to be null and void again?
We don't know yet.
I don't know.
To say.
Yeah, I don't know. The contract here is between the one that absconded and then also the farm that employed them. Yeah. And I think the contracts are normally two parties, but I think the Gambia will also have a stake. So they have already terminated their contract by absconding. Yeah. Right, and the agreement, if they have an agreement with the government of the Gambia, they have breached that agreement. So the government of the Gambia is also at liberty to impose sanctions on them wherever they are. The Gambia government can actually work with those countries and get them deported. I think they should not have done that. I mean, if you enter in a contract, you have to respect that contract. You understand? But like I said, it was obvious that the intention of getting into the contract was different from farming. for many of them. And if you are not careful, the number is actually going to increase. For me, I think it was a very bad decision. I would have actually get to invest into those youth here. We've been having this conversation. Agriculture should not be seasonal. It should not always be during the rainy season, right? How do we ensure that we create markets and encourage more young people to get into agriculture? When they harvest their crops, there is market that is available. The market will buy their products, process those harvested crops, and then they will sell it to the market. So if the market is there, people are actually going to farm. They go in there because the market is there. So we need to, the government of the Gambia needs to look into that direction, not only empowering farmers to farm, but if you farm and harvest your crops, if you don't have any market, then you're actually going to be doing subsistence farming instead of commercial.
I mean, it's a very difficult one because, you know, I've lived in and visited many West African countries, and I have to say, and I always use this term, the obsession about wanting to leave the Gambia is so strong. I don't have the figures, but I'd say 75% of those 10,000 have never even been on a farm in the Gambia. So even if farming was lucrative, and what's funny is that you have foreigners coming to the Gambia, starting farms and making money from it, and you have Gambians who have no interest in it whatsoever. And so 10,000 people applying, they're not into farming. And I suspect even if you made farming, you know, lucrative here, they want to get away. And the tens of thousands of Gambians who are already in Spain and Italy, they have relatives here, and they're telling them that, you know, I came here under the radar, but now I'm settled, I'm this, I'm that. You can come here too. And so there's that temptation as well. And as I said, in the office, people said it from the get-go, that these people will go there, and some of them, and in fact, people were surprised that it was only 3 that are absconded, because the batch that went, we saw in the clip there, the orientation that was done before they went. And one of my colleagues said that one of the guys who was actually is among the 3 absconders, the cameraman, Seru Manga, was telling me that that guy actually refused to be filmed when they were doing that stuff that we can see on the film. He kept saying, "Don't film me." It's like, why not? You're not a criminal. You know, you haven't done anything wrong, but he wouldn't want, and now he's absconding, and he said now it makes sense in a way. But it's a pity because it's selfish. But again, I say people in the office were saying, well, if I had the chance, I'd do the same.
Let's take a look at come to Africa, pick our people, take them to the farms in Spain, let them work there, then we pay them wages. Should you call that a form of a modern slavery?
No, they're getting paid.
Yeah, but I mean, let's talk about let's try to project it sort of the route. I mean, from Africa, you know, you take them sort of a triangular slave trade.
I mean, Mark can come in, but I'll come in with my own views on it. But yeah.
Well, I think the objective from the European Union, especially Spain, is to mitigate the danger of the the Mediterranean Sea illegal
dangerous
migration by Gambians. So to make it more legit, instead of taking that dangerous route, we need manpower. We have insufficient manpower, so we need you to come and work in our farm through this contract. I think they will be there, I don't know the duration, was it 6 months?
3 months.
3 months.
This first lot.
And then they come back. That is also maybe a cheap labor. Maybe if you are to hire someone else from you, it will be more expensive.
Yeah, that's it.
So, I mean, it's business. It's business, and the people agree. I mean, it's contract. I make an offer, and you accept the offer. Right, so it's different from the slave trade where you are enforced. You're forced actually, right? And you are basically I don't know what terminology to use, but you are kidnapped.
Yeah, you're kidnapped. Yeah.
You're kidnapped from your family. You've been possessed, sort of, right? And you're programmed to do what you are programmed to do, right? And you have no liberty. Here you are at liberty to terminate the contract between you and the contractor. Yeah. So I think the obsession is what it drags people into this, the obsession to leave the country.
To go to Europe.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the
Europe or
thing, thinking that
America.
there's going to be extra opportunity. I mean, there's so many people that are leaving the West, coming to Gambia,
back to
coming to Africa and investing. And I think we've just not been thinking outside that. We've not been exploring the massive opportunities in this country that could be monetized, right? And I think that's where
well,
we need.
you know, there are many things that people can do in Africa, and you don't need to go to Europe to make it. I mean, I have a neighbor. I mean, he when he was coming from Guinea-Conakry, he came with nothing. I mean, today he runs almost all the bakeries, you know, that site. I mean, he supplies everybody today. Anywhere he wants, he will go. Wherever he wants, he's from Guinea-Conakry.
You don't have to go too far. And, you know, some Gambians might be upset about this, but in 2 of the buildings that are being built close to where we're sitting right now, 90% of the laborers from
like
Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
And when I asked why, they told me that Gambians don't want to do the work. And actually, they're so well paid, they actually earn more than our reporters. Which, when they told me that, I was shocked when they told me how much they were getting paid. And I'm thinking, well, why wouldn't people want to do that? And one guy said, because it's difficult work. So it's not like the work isn't there. Why are you having people from Guinea-Conakry, from Sierra Leone, coming and doing laboring jobs here? You know? But, you know, the thing about slavery, it's not slavery. Because in Europe, they've made conscious efforts to actually come and recruit people, doctors, nurses, who we train. We spend money training, and then they offer them fat loads of money, and they go and work.
According to others too, it is difficult to do other jobs in your country. You know, for me, it's different. For me, I feel very comfortable doing anything. I sell coffee. I have a coffee shop. I sell coffee on the highway, and everybody knows if Balde is not a TV presenter, he sells coffee during the weekend. And you know, that's what I do.
But
so
others wouldn't want to do that.
I don't pick and choose the jobs that I do in my country, because the hustle that feeds me, I respect that so much.
But that's the problem. We pick and choose.
We pick and choose, and as Ma said,
look into the fishing industry. 90% are non-Gambians, right? You look into the construction business as well. We wanted to do white-collar job, right? Everyone wanted to do white-collar job.
Even the ones who are not qualified to do white-collar jobs want to do white-collar jobs. You know,
and then that is not sustainable. Every one of us, we all have our side hustles apart from the white-collar job.
From 8 to 5, then you go do your thing, man.
Yeah,
you know,
this is it. And as Ma says, in Europe, Spain particularly, we're talking about now, they have this thing where it's difficult to attract people for the wages but for those wages, for somebody who's from Gambia, that's astronomical wages. You know, 1,000 euros a month is a lot. You know, and some of them done 1,500 euros a month. That's, you know, they're not going to get that kind of money working here in a farm in the Gambia. And so to go and do it in Spain is fine. Like I said, most of them have never been on a farm, but they'll go and be on a farm in Europe. And Europe wants these people, and they can attract them because their own people don't want to do it. Just like other Gambians don't want to do laboring jobs here. You know, as I said, you know, talking about the buildings. I just happened to be walking past one of the buildings, and I heard everybody speaking Creole. I said, "Hey, plenty now." Say, yeah. I say, "Well, almost." You know, like, how many of you? He said, "Well, out of like 52, I think 40 were Sierra Leoneans when they were starting on the building." I was shocked. I was like, "What?" You know. And then I spoke to the foreman. I said, "Well, why have you employed Sierra Leoneans?" He said, "If I could employ Gambians, I would." He said, "I didn't go out looking for Sierra Leoneans. I give it to whoever wants the job." And that's the
so, I mean, you're telling me the job is here. It's just a matter of determination.
It's a mental thing.
I mean, you know, you don't only have to be a job seeker. You create jobs.
True,
right?
I believe
so.
I
The
believe
opportunity is
that,
actually there to explore. You know, and then create jobs for yourself, and then that business, if you do well and you are lucky with good partnership and support, that business, if it expands, not only will it contribute to the economy, but it will also reduce the unemployment rate, because you're also going to be employing people, and it will reduce the number of vagabonds that you also have in the country, because people will be busy to do their work, and it will also reduce the crime rate. So economy plays a huge role in instability of a country. So if it is that tight, people want to get it the easy way. But I think the opportunities are here, endless opportunity. If there are no opportunities in here, why will people leave
the other countries
countries that have better economy than us to come here and invest?
Nigerians, Ghanaians, Sierra Leoneans.
Not only that, but you also have the Asians, the West, the Americans investing in here. America have a better economy than us, but why are they leaving the US and investing in here? So the opportunity is there. I mean, it is a very young country, and we have the enabling environment.
The potential is enormous.
We have the resources as well, right? So I think it's just not being honest by Gambia, and I think that's the direction that we need to look into.
There are different virgin areas that people can explore.
You know, for me, and I've said this many, many times, I wish politicians wouldn't kind of play into this thing. But, you know, I care about the youth empowerment and so on. People were here. If they rewind back a month or so ago, we had a politician here, and I asked a simple question. The government said 150,000 jobs they will create. How would you create 1,000? Just 1,000. And I'm sorry, he could not answer the question. So talk is cheap, you know. How would you create? If you are the government in waiting, you need to tell the people, when we get in, we will create so many jobs, and this is how we will do it.
Yeah, but
otherwise, why am I voting for you?
I blame the people that sometimes just digest the information, and still they will keep doing the same promises and still taking those promises.
Because you always want to hold out hope.
But ask questions. How did you create those jobs?
It's a simple question. You know, how will you?
So let's take a look at GDC ask Assembly to intervene in overseas ID card issuance scheme.
Issuance,
It's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. We have embassies and consulates in most of these countries. So if you have Gambians that are in need of an identity card, simple procedure. You walk into that consulate or embassy, make an application, fill the necessary forms. The consulate will now send that. They could do it through DHL or any carrier company to Gambia. They produce the ID cards here and the passports, resend it back. You call the person and they come collect their passports. Why do I have to send a couple of people out there to be doing this, and you pay them per diem for God knows how many? I don't know. The way these issues have been made as if you're making favor to Gambians.
Well, yes.
Right? It's not. Look, why do we have consulates there? Why do we have embassies there? Most countries, you go here in Senegal, right? Most of the embassies, West African embassies in there, citizens have to travel. If you're in Gambia, you have to travel there, make an application, and you have to wait for a period of time, maybe 2 weeks, after your application, or 3 weeks. And then you are called to come and collect your passport.
If you need a Ghana passport today as a Ghanaian, you go to Senegal and do your whole process there. You know, most of our embassies in other countries, they are just there. I mean, without doing so. I traveled to a country, and there was another person complaining about our embassy and the ambassador. I mean, he said they are very useless. I mean, they're doing nothing. The only time you see them, it's traveling. But apart from that, nothing.
They might have just shut down the embassies then. Why do I have to send the immigration department to these countries, right, for a period of time, document Gambians that are there? What's the point of having an embassy there? I think I don't know, people find all means to benefit from this kind of initiative, but it's a useless one.
And if you want to say that, the immigration officer will tell you, look, I mean, there are other procedures that should be done instantly. They'll always find their ways out, to make sure they man over the situation.
But it's untenable, and it's not sustainable, and it is, you're right, it's something that we do need to address, because there's no logic to it, really, that we should be doing this or even talking about it. It should not be happening. The process that he's just explained is how it should work. You go, you apply, they send it, they call you, come and pick up. End of story.
And you can even do it online if you want. I mean, it's you can
in fact, in some
do it
countries
online and fill in all the forms. And if you're supposed to, after doing the application, if you're supposed to do an interview, book an appointment, go for an interview. You were interviewed. It's cost effective and easy, right? So I really do not see the rationale behind this. You cannot justify this. Say, oh, we have so many undocumented Gambians. This is how we create a lazy population. The government has to come to wherever you are after establishing systems and mechanisms that should be followed by the people. But people don't do it, so now, okay, we need to spend more money. And imagine the amount of money that you're going to be investing into this, right? Just take that money. If it's in the millions of dollars, you can make 10 millionaires easy way. You can create 10 millionaires in Gambia here, people that have never seen millionaire in their lifespan. You invest into them that million and make it a condition for them to use that money, get into the industry, get into farming or something, and that money, if you guide them with good mentors, the money will increase. But going all the way to this continent producing ID cards,
well,
where are they going to be hosting? Are they going to be in a hotel? Obviously.
Do you know the amount of corruption, extortion, the amount of trying to take money from our coffers? There are a lot of things that are embedded, a lot of layers. I mean, when you want to muffle that, you have to remove all those layers. And when you keep removing these layers, you will be disappointed to find out the people that put those layers together.
Well, in the field of public sector corruption, some school of thought, that's what they call systemic corruption. It looks legit.
Yeah.
You understand? But instead of benefiting the population, it's benefiting few. You create a system that will benefit you, and you make everything looks legit, and it's actually legit because no one can say that this is illegal. It's the logic, not the legality.
And we've heard it on the recent local government commission, when people have said that when I came into the commission, this is what I met, even though they knew it was wrong. They had the rule books, they had the guidelines. Everybody ignored the guidelines.
Let's take a good example. The Salibo at Brikama Area Council.
You weren't here yesterday, we dealt with it. But anyway.
So the Salibo scheme.
And I just want to ask a question. If you're traveling all the way to these Western countries or other countries, including Mauritania, to document Gambians, how about those in our rural communities?
Yeah, quite.
How about those?
Who are not documented.
Quite. Are we going to go all the way there as well and document them there? Because the last time I checked, most of them have to come all the way to Banjul.
All right, Mar, thank you very much for reviewing the papers with us, and we appreciate for you giving us your time.
Thank you.
And we hope to engage you more in the future, Mar. Thank you for always willing to come. So Mr. Ade, we'll take a short break. After the break, the program continues. We'll be back.
Thank you, Ma.
Far easier. Now you can send money from Gambia to Senegal directly from your Q Money wallet. So what are you waiting for? Get your Q Money account now and start sending money to your friends and families through Orange Money in Senegal now. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Mitoma. First time cross, really threatening, and it's dropped for Minte. Rifled in! Out.
Did you know you can buy cash power using Q Money Wallet absolutely free up to $30,000? Use our app or dial 323# and select Q Power. Choose Register Meter. Enter your meter number. Dial *323# and follow these simple steps. Number 1, select option 3 for Q Power. Number 2, choose option 1 to buy any amount of Q Power. Enjoy free QCell airtime every time you cash in to purchase Q Power. For any inquiries, call 133. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe.
Hi there, my name is Nuruddin Adams, a proud product of this noble institution. Heritage Christian University is not just a learning place, but a community that transforms lives and empowers its students to become compassionate entrepreneurial leaders. My journey here has truly been life-changing, and I invite you to come experience the same. Whether your passion is into business, nursing, midwifery, psychology, communication studies, multimedia technology, information technology, or theology and ministry, Heritage has tailored these programs for both the undergraduate and graduate studies to suit your goal. If you're ever ready to take your education to the next level, then pick up an application form and join us today. At Heritage, you are never alone, as members of the community will stand and work with you every step of the way. Welcome to Heritage Christian University.
Do your banking the smart way with the new Bank mobile app. Transfer money to any bank account in the Gambia. Top up airtime for all networks. Pay utility bills. Check your account balance and view mini statements. Request for ATM cards. Request for checkbooks and more in a single touch. So, do your banking in a smart way. Do your banking now with Bank mobile app. Every time is banking time. Bank, your investment partner.
Back. You're watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Abalde. Thank you very much. Always. Now let's talk about the Gambia Chess Federation. And we have Lamin Jame, chess development instructor, and Keba Sala, president, Kanuforo Chess Academy and Club. Yeah, so chess, it seems to be a very interesting game. I've been seeing it on Facebook. I watched you on several occasions on Facebook. You play a lot of dancehall music and doing your chess.
Hey, dancehall music and chess.
I enjoy that. I enjoy the mood when you're playing it and explaining how easy it is. You know, I follow you. And of course, I see it on movies, mostly on American movies. They like playing chess. So please, gentlemen, it's good to be here, and this might be my opportunity to know what this game is.
One of the best movies is Queen of Katwe, set in Uganda.
Okay.
Kenya.
Yes,
yeah. Uganda. Okay. It's a fantastic movie.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So it's important for this gentleman to introduce what this is. Because for me, I can play any of these. Okay. I can play the dam, I can do chess. Any of these type of games I can play. I don't know.
You've never gotten into it.
I've never.
Gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so, what is the kind of core? So, if you wouldn't mind, because I confess I don't know who is. Are you Lamin?
Yes, I am Lamin.
You're Lamin. Yes. You're the dancehall and chess fellow, yes. Lamin Jame. Yes. So, I mean, tell us about the federation, how long it's been going, and what your kind of mission and vision is all about, really.
The Gambia Chess Federation have been here since 1976.
Oh, okay.
It registered with FIDE in 1978.
That's the world body.
Yes, yeah. That's the International Chess Federation.
Yeah.
And since then, they have been having presidents coming. Congress been happening till 2020 when we came in.
Okay.
So it's 4 years, then we do Congress again. So this December, we are preparing for another Congress.
Okay.
But in between, we normally host tournaments, that is national tournaments. We attend international also tournaments like the Olympiad, and we also conduct trainings for teachers and students across the country.
Okay, thank you. So does Gambia have a chess grandmaster yet?
We have FIDE master and candidate master.
Candidate master. Okay,
yes, but we don't have a grandmaster yet.
Okay.
Yes.
So I mean, let's talk to Keba Sala.
Yes.
Mr. Sala, what is this game? Why chess?
Yeah, thank you very much. Chess is a, I would say, it started from the medieval era. It was around for a very long time, and it is a game with many benefits, and also it helps develop the human mind, and in many ways. For example, when you talk about cognitive skills, trying to make it boosts the creativity to be able to make decisions under pressure, and to be able to think fast as well. And also, like we always say, thinking outside the box.
Okay.
Those are one of the skills chess will instill in anybody that plays it. And the other thing that it is very important, research have shown, like in many schools will use chess to boost students that are struggling with mathematics and science. They use chess, they will introduce chess to them, and the more chess they play, the more their math skills will improve, and their science skills as well. And moreover that, it is also a tool that will unite communities, and it will bring societies together, because chess is a game that you don't need to, it has a universal language. You don't have to be able to speak English, or you can't speak English. All you have to do is know how to play, and you can play on many fronts.
Okay.
Yes.
So how do we play this?
Learning chess is a process. It is not, unlike many games, it's not a game that you can learn just today and grab it over time.
Okay.
Because as you can see, the pieces are different. So all of these pieces move differently. How the designs are different, that's how they all move differently. But the pieces that look alike, they move in similar patterns.
Because
so
I can see a pawn, I can see rook, I can see
yes. You have pawns, you have rooks, some call them castles. You have knights, you have bishops, some call them chariots. You have the king and the queen. Yes. But the main aim of the game is how do you win a chess game is enforcing a checkmate against the king. So basically, to say you try to capture each other's king. So in the process, you'll develop so many plans to execute. Some of these plans will fail, and some of them will be successful, and some of them will have repercussions and reverse effects. So that is why it is very good, and
it's about strategy.
Yes, it's
that's
about
why
strategy.
In the military, some of them
So in many fronts, chess is really
how is chess different from other games around the world?
You mean games like that use the kind of like draft and those sorts of things? Yeah.
I can give you this. They say after the first 2-3 moves of the game, you have over hundreds of possible moves. But many games, after the first move, you can easily predict how the game will sway. But chess is so complex, and no single game is the same.
Correct.
And also that is why people take notations. They record all these moves. As you can see, the coordinates, the horizontal and the vertical axis, you have numbers. So you record these moves, to be able to study the game again and look at all the loopholes and where you could improve, and you can learn more. So it is complex and enjoyable at the same time.
How is this game popular? How much is this game popular?
Because you have a club. You have a club, Keba.
In the Gambia or in the world?
In the Gambia.
In the Gambia.
In the Gambia, it's popular in Combo before, like in 2020. It's also popular in Batume. Batume is a village in LRR.
Okay.
The whole village accept everybody from up to down.
Oh, they play.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I think we have to do a story there.
Yes, and also in Basse also they have one of the largest, as a region they get a lot of clubs before. But how to call it? That's how it's not that very popular. And the problem is the material. Like they can play chess, but they hardly got chessboard to get access to the material. So when we came in with our Kanuforo project, we started it last year. That is chess education in Gambian schools.
Right.
It's a project. So we started it last year as the Canuforo Chess Academy with our partners from Spain. So we were able to distribute like 64 chess boards across the country up to Basse. So this year also we did it. So we trained about 30 school teachers and around West Coast here. That's the schools under Olympa Afrique. So we also visited like 6 schools from Basse, North Bank and other regions. So this year we focus mostly on 2 schools so that we can give them intensive mathematics and chess training. So this is what we do. So we normally go around also to the media to popularize it so that people can get familiar. And
as you're doing now.
Luckily for us now, we some clubs also adopt what we were doing. Like now they are also doing it big. So we are hoping that before the end of the year, maybe 5 or 6 more clubs will come on board to do a lot of other activities.
So that is the main aim. The main aim is to boost the sensitization about chess, around chess, and to expose it out there so that many people can have access to the game and to be able to learn how to play the game. For us, our doors are always open. For whoever wants to learn chess, we will be happy to present the game to you and to introduce it to you, and also give some basic trainings. You know, and yes.
Yeah, and we also produce this with our partners, so that because we don't have how to call it a book sort of, you know. So we produce it our partners, and you know, we have the Spanish version and the English version. Yeah, so that we can give it to teachers and schools for them to use it to teach chess. With also the roller banner, also we distribute some to schools, you know, for easy access and things like that.
They say catch them young, because I know in places like China, Korea, very, very young,
very young,
introduced into the game.
Exactly.
And of course the game is very popular in those countries.
For people like me, growing up playing, I mean, seeing people playing draft, the dam we call it here, I mean, most of the elders will tell me, this is just a waste of time. You understand? So me, looking at all other games, I mean, it's more of a waste of time, you know. But seeing gentlemen like you, I mean, being very serious and producing even book copies, making so all the schools, they learn this. I mean, I'm starting to change my mind about it.
I think it will be good for you to change your mind, because for me too, when I started playing chess was in 2001. But then I didn't get that knowledge.
So how did you get into it, if I might ask?
It was one Sunday evening that because every Sunday we go to the beach, Sunday beach. One Sunday beach that I'm going, then there's one of our elderly at our neighborhood who was boring at his house. He was lonely, seeing us going to the beach. Then he called us and said, I have something that I want you to see. So we just turned around, went inside. That was Pabala. So when we went in, you know, he told us, well, this is chess and that and that and that. If you don't mind, we can. But I was not that interested. So he tried to get us, because he also need company. So we canceled the beach. We stayed there. He trained us that day, and it became fun. That's how I started learning. So, but I am not a grandmaster sort of. I'm not that too good in playing. We have best players out there.
But you enjoy.
Yes, but I went further to do a course that gave me a license to become a development instructor. And also I became nominated for membership as a commissioner for persons living with disability playing chess in Africa. So I was appointed by FIDE. So I'm now working under this commission also. So I'm also helping them also to establish a federation in other parts of Africa where their countries are not well established, like Guinea-Bissau and Guinea-Conakry. So I'm working also with the international chess developer, Nigel Sott, to make sure that those countries also enjoy what we are enjoying. So things like that.
Keba, how did you get into chess?
At some point I traveled out of the country. I was living in the UK for some time, and that's where I learned to play
Where
chess.
in the UK, if I might ask?
I lived in Birmingham.
Birmingham, so many Gambians there.
It's typical. Yes, so I lived there for 3.5 years, and did part of my studies there. So along the line, I get to learn how to play chess. But when I also came home, I couldn't find anybody to play with. So I trained a few of my friends those friends now turn out to be the members of the club.
Right.
And I happened to meet him through chess. So one afternoon he came to a friend on our neighborhood, and when we were there with a small piece of board, the pocket-sized chess.
Okay.
I always used to carry that around with me to find who I can play with. You know, then almost around my neighborhood in Keseri, almost nobody plays. But today, I'm happy that we have over 10 players in Keseri.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And then now, when I saw him, he said, wow, I'm also a beginner. I said, well, I'm also a beginner. And that was a long time ago.
Wow.
And then we clicked, and then we always play chess.
Fantastic.
And now we are here trying to develop chess.
and it can, you see, it can connect you.
Yes, it connects societies. It
and
connects
so
societies.
are you trying, because in England, when I went to school in England, every school that I attended, they had chess clubs.
Yes.
Are you trying to encourage similar things here?
Yes,
so
in fact, that is why that is why we trained 30 teachers from 30 different schools, so that when they go back to their schools, they will introduce the game to their students and then form clubs. And we are having plans to set up inter-school chess competitions as well. You know, and chess is very accommodating. Even our granddads over 60s, they have competitions.
Yes,
All ages can have competitions.
Okay.
Yes. It is that diverse. It is that
never
open.
too old to learn.
Persons with disability, they have their competition. You know, it is so empowering and accommodates everyone.
Yeah, to add on to that, like we've already created few clubs from the last year project. That is the Armitage School in Sierra, and we also created how to call it, a Lambai Chess Club, Lemon Tree Chess Club. Those are all schools that we went to before, and also Kanuma. In North Bank, we also created a chess club there.
Okay.
Yes. So
how progressing are those clubs?
We are monitoring them because we have a WhatsApp group.
That's what I wanted to hear.
We are monitoring them and also giving them materials also to continue doing the training. And we also did the first National School Chess Championship in July.
Okay.
This July just gone?
This July, and also we
why
did...
Why didn't you invite us?
We'll be doing that more often now.
Yes, we also did the National Rated Rapid Championship, like Spain versus Gambia, so that we can increase the rating of some of the players who are not in schools.
Okay.
So, yes, this is what we...
Wow, interesting.
So
I think.
did they play at your school?
No, I've never played this.
No,
before.
not you, but did people at your school? Were you aware of anybody at your school playing chess?
Well, I don't think so.
No. Okay.
Yeah. So at what age should we learn chess?
At 8 above. But me, my kids, I start teaching them because Mariama is 6. So I started teaching her when she was just 5.
She must be good.
So
Mariama must be good.
By the time she's 10, she'll be beating the father.
Exactly. To be able to create grandmasters, it's good to introduce chess to them when they are young and they grew up with it.
Okay.
That is why you can see we have many players in Gambia, but we are yet to produce a grandmaster. You know, so catching the kids young and introducing the game to them gives them enough time to develop, you know, and also it is not like other sporting careers whereby it distracts you from your professional career.
No, you can still
you can do your professional career and still be,
in fact, it enhances your thinking capacity.
Exactly. Like all of us, we do other jobs. Like I am a visual artist and a comms officer, but also I play chess on the side. And he also works in human rights and also you know, so many other things, and still works in chess. So
wow.
When I was at school, I used to use the excuse that because I was playing so many physical sports, I didn't have the time. But the truth was, I found it a bit scary. And I thought, you know, because it was like the really clever guys were all the ones I saw playing chess. And I thought I can't do this as well, even though, you know, I did well academically. But, you know, I was always playing, you know, football.
You know, for me, I looked at the game as the game for the white man. That's how I look at it.
Universal.
Because I see it more on movies, so I think, this is not for me.
I'll give you a copy of Queen of Katwe.
Queen of Katwe, I met her in Uganda in 2002 when we went for the prison chess visit to the biggest prison in Uganda.
Right.
Yeah, with and you have a school, right? You have your school?
No.
Okay.
No.
I thought you were saying he got
No. I was
He was
asking that
talking about
when he
school.
was at school,
Okay.
did he ever play or did anybody ever
Yes,
play there?
and I was also fortunate to go to, in the history you will see that chess, some believe that it started in India.
In India, yeah.
So
yeah.
we were lucky to be in Chennai where they said chess started.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the 2022 Olympiad was held in Chennai.
And I just read an article 2 or 3 days ago about a young 12-year-old Indian boy who's like chess wizard.
Oh, yes.
He's gone viral,
Okay.
with his chess skills.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. We've exhausted our time already. Imagine from going to the beach to relax.
And that's why
someone dragging you to his house.
It's a fascinating
and now for
story.
you to go up to India, where chess started from.
Yeah.
No, life is unpredictable. Yeah, so viewers, we'll be right back after the break.
At Ajib Bank, we are more than banking. We build bridges that connect you to pivotal services every day. Do you have government bills to pay to the Gambia Revenue Authority, Comfort, KMC, or the Accountant General's Department? We've got you covered. From payment of customs and domestic taxes to GRA, payment of number plate and vehicle ownership transfer to Comfort, payment of property rates and business license fee to KMC, and payment of MR passport, business registration, fishing license, land fees, sale of assets, lease application, development permits, quarrying royalties, gravel and sand, mining royalties, and a host of other revenue lines to the Accountant General's Department. Walk into any of our branches nationwide and make your payments hassle-free. Either in person or online. Simple, secure, and immediate. With Ajib Bank, there is no need to worry about government bill payments for your vehicles, taxes, licenses, business registration, and any other revenue line. Ajib Bank, passionate about your investment. We've got you covered. Ajib Bank, your investment partner.
QCell, the fastest growing network in the Gambia, now presents to you the eSIM. QCell's eSIM allows you to electronically scan a code and join the world of digital SIM cards. Customers with physical SIMs can easily switch to the eSIM as well. So rush now and get connected with an eSIM and start using the latest mobile technology with your trusted GSM operator. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sinubus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Q Money and Orange Money has just made money transfer easier. Now you can send money from Gambia to Senegal directly from your Q Money wallet. So what are you waiting for? Get your Q Money account now and start sending money to your friends and families through Orange Money in Senegal now. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Mitoma. First time cross, really threatening, and it's dropped for Minte, rifled in! Out.
Did you know you can buy cash power using Q Money wallet absolutely free up to 30,000 C's? Use our app or dial 323 hash and select Q Power. Choose Register Meter. Enter your meter number. Dial *323 hash and follow these simple steps. Number 1. Select option 3 for Q Power. Number 2. Choose option 1 to buy any amount of Q Power. Enjoy free QCell airtime every time you cash in to purchase Q Power. For any inquiries, call 133. Q Money, Sunyu Kalbe.
Yeah, we are back. You are watching QTV this morning. So, Mr. Ade, you have a number for
I have a number
the
because
Chess Association of the Gambia.
Yes, anybody who was excited by the bit we did on chess just before the break, Keba Sala, who was here from the Kanufuro Club, he left his number, which we should have given when he was here, really, but it's a beautiful one to remember, 344-0244. That's 324-0244.
324?
I beg your pardon. 344-0244. And that's Keba Sala, who was here, and he said if anybody wants to join the club, just call him once again, 344-0244.
Take the last number, yes.
Yep.
Don't worry, that's the function of the medulla oblongata. I mean, sometimes it keeps changing the way you think.
Indeed.
Yeah, so, I mean, Mr. Ade, we have the QCell team again. We have Buba, Sedikan.
I was just joking that the QCell team have been here more than Mr. Balde has been here.
Absolutely.
And so
they are trying to kidnap my TV from me again.
But nonetheless, we have Mamadou Bari, sales supervisor with QCell, and we have Buba Sedikan, marketing supervisor with QCell. And gentlemen, you've been telling us and the viewers all the goodies that QCell have been able to provide. We started in July with the summer data splash because July is our month, as we keep saying. You know, 2009 July was when the whole thing kicked off, and we haven't looked back since.
Of course, of course.
Boba, over to you.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Ade. Thank you, Balde. Always a pleasure. As you said, it's becoming routine now, but we're always happy to be here. I mean, to always talk to our customers because they don't get to see us often, and we want to be right there with them now. So like you said, this started in July, us celebrating our bird month. July of 2009 we started operation in the Gambia, and it was July of 2025 that we gave them the biggest promo in this country, which was this summer data splash. And we gave them something that hasn't been matched yet by anyone, which is the Sunday free calls. I think we are 2.5 days away from Sunday. So just a reminder to our customers out there, Sunday is almost here. I have never been excited for Sunday.
And when we say free, we mean free.
Free, we mean free. Sunday haven't been a day that I was particularly excited about, because I mean Sunday, Monday, you're back to work. Now Sunday is it's more exciting to get to a Sunday than a Saturday now, because of the free call. And QCell offers this free call to all of our customers wherever you are inside the Gambia, as far as you have a QCell. And you have a QCell, not only. As far as you're in the Gambia, there's QCell coverage anywhere. And this is something that we want to talk about today. The reachability QCell offers, the coverage that QCell offers is next to none. And also the tariff, the affordability that we give, along with the quality network and the biggest coverage that we give. I mean, we are #1 in this country, and we will continue to be #1 as well. Just
Bari.
Yes.
Lu xew.
Jàmm ak salaam ak yokkute ak jëm kanam ak liggéey.
Sëñ bi ñëwaat na de. Wallaay.
Coow li ci buntum teen ba gaay yu amul baak la.
Waaw. Coow li su bëri.
ci buntu teen bi.
ñu amul baak la.
ñu amul baak la.
Waaw
doo amee baak. Rootal.
looy
wàlliyaani. Rootal te joxe. lu baax dañ koy joxe.
dëgg la de.
lu baax dañ koy siiwal. lu baax dafay daj.
dëgg la.
looluy dëgg. nekk ab QCell ak ñoo QCell wax naa leen saa su ne mérite la pour réew mi.
waaw
réew mi dañ koy yelloo pour QCell ñëw nekk fi ak ñoom. lii doon génn gars yi di ko wax li doon senn di dem ci yeneen réew sennatut dematut mu ngi toog fii. ndik ñun wecciwuñ dollar wecciwuñ euro wecciwuñ CFA wecciwuñ dara. dalasi bi rek moo fi ne. ñuy àgga ci gox-goxaan yi ñuy dem di leen jox network bu mucc ayib.
xam nga lan moo ma jaaxal si QCell. QCell luñ dee tayala dem si dëkk bu ndaw sax. dëkk bu ne ñu dugga even fii nii how to call it benn dëkk bu nekk boori Lamen Koto Kibiri. QCell dem na fa.
am na yeneen ak yeneen. ñu ngi wàcc yeneen ak yeneen ñu ngi préparé yeneen ak yeneen.
kon doyaagut.
déedéet xaajut suñ taabul yaa ngi fees.
kon yéen loo leen nar.
koota. dañ bëgg a dëkk bu nekk.
waaw.
réseau network QCell ne fa copat sakkan fa lool.
man suma koñ juróomi antenne QCell moo fa ne.
macha allah macha allah.
ñoo ma wóor man si diggalaa nekk.
macha allah
Makumbaya am na tali bi am na Kerewaan am na suma gannaaw am na kon man suma network mu ngi dëgër.
network bu yaatu ak tarif bu yomba moom lañ dikk réew mi te dinañ ko dajal incha allah rabbi te ci lañ taxaw te ci lañ nekka network bu daj ak tarif bu yomba soo génnee juróomi dërëm am data am internet.
waaw
sa ñaari dërëm ak genn wala di nga mun a woo ku la nee. ci minute.
waaw
te du jeex.
waaye bari mu ngi mel nii janax yaa ngi génn si pax yi de janax yi ñu ngi génn si pax yi because ñun dañ saxaral pax yi rek janax yi ñu gis ñuy fula.
waaw
fu nekk
waaw xam nga nag suñ la njatee.
waaw
foo def futandeku.
dëgg la.
xale bu ndaw sax boo téye ñaari loxo mi.
waaw
bu jàggee rek mën a fërëb.
waaw
fu mu jaar futandeku. dañ njata gaa yi nag. dañ leen njata fi ñu leen téye métti.
loolu leen métti
loolu ma leen métti waaw.
moo tax woykat bi mu ne fuy métti.
fuy métti. métti naa ñoom de. métti naa ñoom lool.
soo sondee bi tam dañ fas yéene defanteeg dëkk bi.
non suñ baax la léegi. kilifa gi ne.
waaw
nañ liggéey. delloo jukkal askan bi. peccum nit bu neexee ndey yaa téye
mbagay de.
askani Gambie dañ téye ci mbagi QCell déggantaan te bàyyi wuñ te waaju ñoo bàyyi. te loolu nag loo ko defal nag.
waaw
kon daal delloo ko njukkal delloo ko baax.
ku la dig añ jox la añ xaw ma jox la ndéwoo ku la dig xaw ma reer.
ku la jox ndéwoo jox la añ.
suma olof bi is not strong.
ku la jox ndéwoo jox la añ. bu la diggee reer naxu la. toogal nga xaar reer bi dina ñëw.
te dëgg la de dëgg la de. buuba waaye gars yi dañu waxoon ne QCell suñ demee Sunday free call bi tuuti rek ñu stop ko loolu dëggal am déet.
non because xam nga ñun suñ waxeen bi yëpp suñ bari yuñ affaire lu ñoo def rek dañ ko won nit ñi gis ko waaw we work in silence. We let the result speaks for himself. So Sunday free call bi I think boobu noonu won na nit ñi ne QCell luñ mun gars yi munuñ ko because def nañ ko. We are entering the third week of it now. Mooy Sunday bii nii mooy nekk di third Sunday of it. Kenn toppul si kenn munul sax munuñ ko moo tax toppuñ ko. So this shows you that QCell luñ mun. ak ñeneen luñ mun duñ benn. waaw ñu ne ku mun ak ku jéem duñ benn. ñun mun nañ def nañ ko. ñeneen yi munuñ koo def.
dëgg la
soo gisee wax bi bari si biir dëkk bi. param-param yi bari. QCell moo tax.
kuy dóor ko moo mun kuy saaga.
waaw tubaab yi tamit xale ñu ne empty barrel makes more sound.
no waaye xam nga sax the reality is QCell is the biggest in this country. And we have to accept that. Yes. We are the last to come, but we are the biggest. Yes. You know, we've proved ourselves. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. And everybody tasted it.
Yes.
And they've realized, okay, orange bi moo gën a saf.
moo gën a saf, of course. Wala ko wax. Vitamin C la.
du si
orange bi vitamin C la.
affaire bi si ñun la. Yàlla moo ko def.
bi xale bi waxee maamam démba ne maam dañ ma bëgg a utal raka mu ne maamam ne man bëgguma raka waaw maam bi nekkul ta bëgguloo raka mu ne ko kon dañ may fàtte kon duñ ma toppatoowaat
daf na yaram
waaye bi ñëwee am na ñu fi fàtte de ñun suñ nekk fii am na ñu fi fàtte
non suñ nekk
gis bi gaay si gaay mu ne
waaw
soo mu ne yow mag ji te di nga def lu baax te maam dina la faale dina la fàtte ñu war ñu def rek
waaw
ñu bokk makkale rek
ñu def
ko ci yoon ñu def ko ci yoon di nga xam
soo ko deful si yoon nag ñun
dara nag waaw soo ko defee ci yoon ñu def ko ci yoon waaw di nga xam ne rakka ji màgg na de
waaw man sax dama bëgg a jubaay di ne ok QCell dañ def ni ñun we are the biggest loolu moom jaru sax léegi ñu ko laam-laame we are the biggest we are the biggest the cheapest the most affordable ñun ñoo nekk di clearest in this country
te soo bàyyee loolu la biggest and cheapest pour ñu bari def ko is very difficult for most of them because ku rëy ak ku yomba pour nga rëy ba pare nga ñu ne like punkal bu kam nga yombut so we are the biggest when it comes to coverage, when it comes to network capacity, when it comes to quality ñun foofu noonu amuñ fa morom. When it comes to tariff being cheap, right now QCell, we can say this with our hands up, we have the cheapest call tariff in the Gambia. We are charging just $2.50 bututs. imagine before ñun di fi ñëwoon call tariff was up to $7, some even $8 per minute. ñun ñëw fi léegi we are giving you léegi ku la soo gisee coins am na ku ma gis mu gis coins $2 forut ko because mu ne lii mu naan
waste of time.
yeah, it's a waste of time. But QCell ñu ne no, we are still giving you value in those small amounts. $2.50 butus ñu ne la ne mu nga ko callee for more than a minute. ba pare emuñ si loolu tamit Sunday free call bi Sunday free call bi nag lu si ne there is no hidden fees, there is no subscription required.
amul de.
There's nothing that you have to dial. yow looy def rek mooy callal koo bëgg a call.
There's no activation
fee.
No nothing.
Absolutely nothing. The only thing loo soxla
SIM card.
That's the only thing, and that is free as well. So it's just free upon free upon free. So this is something that dañ bëgg a suñ client yi ñu enjoy ko. ñu enjoy ko buñ woori kañ la moo jeex. ndax dina jeex don't worry about it.
Wow.
Yes.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
waaw nañ
Enjoy it while
continuer rek affaire si pour client yi la. I mean a lot of wonderful things QCell have been doing since inception.
Well, yes, when somebody said to me, that Buba fellow, he came on and he said, you know, this thing is here until he said, I'm going to save that clip. He said, because if they start charging me,
they will vandalize
I will be very upset. So Buba, you have been warned. As soon as I went upstairs, I got the call.
Cin bu naree xenjay ba.
Yes.
waaye ànd bu nekk tamit am na. waaw nañ ko gisee noonu. waaye fuñ toll nii nañ ànd ak askan bi nañ ànd ak réew mi ci liggéey bi nga xam ne moom la QCell di def. kilifa gi gomul dara lu dul liggéey kilifa gi kenn gënu ko bëgg a réewam kenn gënu ko bëgg lu baax fu mu gis lu baax dina ko indi ci biir réew mi fii kon kooku ànd ak moom am na solo jàppale ko am na solo gëm ko am na solo te réewi Gambia ngee def loolu number 3 ak number 5 bu leen ko jaawaale number 3 number 5.
waaw number 3 ak 5 bi dafa utee number yëpp.
te gis nga lucky number lañ.
waaw
man de ci man lucky number la.
3 ak 5
3 ak 5 waaw number yi am solo lañ. société man suma ati juddu ak suma bési juddu yëpp dafa tombé diggante 3 ak 5.
3 ak 5
waaw. I'm telling you man ko wax Gambie yëpp. 31st March.
waaw xoolal loolu rek. 31st March.
1975.
waaw
xam nga ne man am naa loolu yëpp.
waaw
man on na ko la am
ndeysaan
3 ak 5 lu am solo la.
xoolal loolu
suñ branches yaa ngi ubbeeku. diggante 8 o'clock ba 6 o'clock branches yaa ngi ubbeeku li nga soxla pour yóbbu rek mooy sa ID card voters card driving license maa sa aliens card. di nga am QCell di nga dajee ak team bi di nga fekk tam ñu ngi teg ay table ci biti. incha allah di nga war du la war a mën a réer. te doo ci génnee dërëm. Sunday free call bi ak suñ tarif bi ñu indi yëpp Sunday splash bi yëpp mu ngi fi damagut fente jeexagut kon nag askani Gambie ñu ngi yen soo leen ko xalaatee ñu ngi ci.
waaw ñun tam
ko jàmbatee.
waaw ñun tam da ngeen ñoo may.
waaw
waa QCell ma advertise suma bitik bi. ñun suñ sob bi. ñu ngi lameen kerewaan. bu Ndingoto si Johnson bi. ñu ngi jaay QCell sim cards.
macha allah.
waaw ñun. xam nga it's a business.
macha allah
waaw ñun we make sure we access it. loolu dañ ko waaye customer care yëpp free la.
free la. customer care yëpp free la.
customer care yëpp free la waaye soo leen ñëwee foofu tam. dañ ne naa register we make sure you get a QCell line. so it's
because dañ bëgg a mu easy. pour mu jot ñëpp. xam nga ñeneen yi maybe customer care suma maas yi. su ma waree fay pass dem si customer care ma gis yoo sa sobi.
exactly it's accessible te da ngaa ñëw at a very minimum fii. ñu register la ñu defaral la yëpp. nga dem nga enjoy sa Sunday free call.
waaw noonu ma ko waxee rek 2.5 days before Sunday. so foog naa ne ñëpp war nañoo daw because every Sunday su passé am na ku ma call di ma laajte na next Sunday dina am. moo ko balaa ngaa laajte. jëlal sim card bi force nga téye ko
jëlal sim card bi nga téye ko.
even boobu su waree génn waxuma la dina génn waaye su dee war naa génn.
am na luy ñëwaat.
waaw
so bu leen tardé.
a lot of things
dem leen jëli sim card si free la. si customer care yëpp and it's everywhere daal.
thank you Barry thank you Buba for coming Mr. Ade thank you it's the end of the week for this morning. Yes, and we hope to be here again next week inshallah. Do enjoy the rest of our programs. Have a wonderful day.